everyone, welcome back. JP's Budget Collecting in our weekly Cash or Trash, the video where we look at the hot comics of this week and we make predictions sure to go wrong for 6 months from now when we do the look back video on Saturdays. I'm going to apologize in advance. The dog is in fine form tonight and he's being very ridiculous, and I should probably kick him out, but I don't know that would matter. I think he would just be at the door whining. The old man is just grumpy and wants to go to bed and doesn't like that I'm going to be talking on a video. So hopefully he'll just calm down and sleep. Normally that's what he's been doing, but we will see. So we're going to try to push through here. My man Unruly was tailgating. What's going on, sir? Bob's your uncle was also in here early. Peter was in the house with talk about it. One of the books we might be talking about. Gordon in here, always obsessed with that 1 in 25 Ultimate Fallout. Some way back, yeah, for sure. Old Comic Smells in the house. What is going on, sir? Team Ohana, yes. Blue Collar Dan, and Unreally's like, let him be grumpy. I do, but it's just a high pitched whine that I know annoys me, and it can't exactly sound good through the video. And I've been yelled at multiple times in comments, but not that I really care that much, but that like, hey, the dog's annoying and do something and stuff. So hopefully he'll calm down in a minute. Here's your bone. Just be good. You're okay. So what are we doing here? Hey GTK, what is going on? What are we doing here? We are looking at the hot. So on Saturdays, I put out the look back video where we look at the hot comics from 6 months ago. I know he's a good boy. He's also about to be 14 years old. And yeah, he's just. He does sound a little bit like a squeaky chain on a string, yes. He's a Labrador. He's about to be 14 next month. Well, not even next month. Like in 2 weeks, he turns 14. December 9th he would turn 14. So he's an old man who's set in his ways. That's what he is. Barinka, what is going on? Hey, Basilisk, what's going on? So we're going to try to power through. Hopefully he will calm down. And if he doesn't, I may kick him out, but I'm hoping he'll just go to sleep. So, anyway, let's get back on track here as we come here. You're okay. No, come here. You're gonna whine, and I'm gonna put you where I can pet you and talk. So I've already lost my train of thought completely here. We are so on Saturdays we do the look back video where we look back at the hot comics from 6 months ago and we see what's happened to them. How have they performed in the market? Were you smart to wait, or would you have been smarter to wait? Were you okay to buy? That kind of thing. Usually it's be patient. But this is a video where we look at the hot comics of right in the moment and we talk about what decisions we should make. Why are they hot? And we make predictions for that 6 month video. How do we do those predictions? We throw them into categories. Our categories are straight cash, homie, books that we expect to continue to rise in value. Generally, we don't have a lot of these on this list, these trending books. Or if we do, it's really more of a conversation about what they're going to do long term, maybe not over the next 6 months, but maybe over like 5 years. But that is occasionally we get a straight cash book. We get our worth it. These are books that are probably, despite being hot in the moment, they're probably about right. If you buy in here, you're not really going to regret it. You're probably going to come out slightly ahead by buying now, or at least even. We got our I'll Be Back. These are books that are kind of flip side of that worth it. They're priced about right, but if you're patient, you're probably going to be able to get a better deal. These are books that are probably going to be, they're kind of on the high end of what they should be. And yeah, you can just be patient. You'll find a deal. It's a Trap. These are books that are going to drop 30, 40, 50%. They're well overpriced and they need to, whatever the news is of the moment has got them at a price. It's just not going to be sustainable for those books. We also got our dumpster fires. These are books that are up 60, 70, 80% and are just going to be, they just don't have nearly the sustained value of where they're going at the moment. Occasionally we're going to throw in, yeah, whatever, or come on, man, or maybe even it doesn't matter what your name is kind of thing. So we have a few other memes we throw in there. But yeah, so we're going to talk about these books. This dog is going to squeak through this whole video. I have the feeling tonight. I apologize. If it's too much for you, you'll just have to ditch me. I don't know what to tell you. No, he's crying because he wants to go to bed. And I'm still up. It's dark outside and he wants to go to bed. But he doesn't want to leave the room I'm in. So yeah, I'm getting yelled at because it's his bedtime, even though I never go to bed at this time. He thinks it's bedtime and he wants me to go in there because he sleeps at the foot of my bed, but he doesn't want to be in there until I'm in there. So, hey, Hawk, what is going on? Appreciate it. I am feeling much better. It took about 10 days, for me to completely get back, but I am feeling much, much better. I've been pretty good since about Thursday. Well, Wednesday of last week is really when I was like back to 100%. So, but thank you. All right, so let's dig into these. I think he may actually be, well, I said that and then he whimpered, but I think he may actually be about to give it up and just go to sleep at my feet, which is what he usually does. It just sometimes takes longer than others. All right. So we got a book on here for the second week in a row. We got Alien Legion #1. Warner Brothers is supposedly adapting this into some sort of series. I don't know if this is going to be live action, if this is going to be animated. I'm not sure exactly here. Last week when we talked about it, $5 to $20, 9.8, 150. And I was like, yeah, that's probably an I'll be back, maybe borderline trap. Just because they're talking about it, we're a long way from anything happening here. No, he's spoiled. He's not traumatized. He's spoiled. I've had him since he was 6 weeks old or whatever. And I spoiled him rotten is what the problem is. It was so serious. Yeah. There you go. Now it's up to a $15 to $25 book, 9.8, $325. If you're paying $325 for 9.8, my response to you is, what are you thinking? But yeah, this is now into dumpster fire range, particularly on the 9.8 side. You could argue it's probably just trap range on the raw side, but $300+ for this in a 9.8. TJ saying it is live action. I don't care. Yeah. Paper Girls, Old Guard, Jupiter Ascending. Name the series that was like this that got adapted and sustained any kind of value near $325. Yeah. It's straight. Yeah, it's a dumpster fire. It's a terrible decision. It's just, don't buy on Option News. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't. It never, ever really pays off. Never. You are buying in on the high end. You're not going to make money off of that book. And you always have an opportunity in the next year when we hear nothing about this, when we get no news, to get this book for cheaper. And I think the dog is actually asleep, or he's feigning sleep at the moment. So, hey, we're going to no more whining for a while. Next, we got Gears of War. And here's a perfect example. This book, this is the third or fourth time we've got news related to production of this. Basically, they're back in the writer's room because all the strikes are over and they're working on it again. Person who sold it was happy. Yes, they were. This has been on the list 3 or 4 times. It jumps up, it fades. It jumps up, it fades. Every single time. Raw copies right now are 45-ish. 9.8, 133, which is still down from some of the previous 9.8 peaks. Just come back later. These are not, I don't know that at these prices it's quite trap range. Some of the previous peaks on this book were trap range. But right now, it's definitely still an I'll be back because there's they're just not writing it. Like, we're 2 to 3 years out with them writing it. Particularly since part of it, they're talking about like some live action, but also an animated series or something. Like, yeah, come back later. Just do it. It's the smart decision. Trust me. Love the games, but I don't know how they're gonna make live action. So it's supposed to be like a live action movie paired with an animated series, is my understanding. That could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. I could have it confused with one of the other 300 option news things that I've talked about over the last 5 years. So there you go. Investigative journalism, trying to remember which way you're talking about, but yeah. Next, we're going to move into one of our only 2 covers we have this week. This is Daredevil Black Armor #1, the Rafael Grassetti 1 in 25. Is it just me, or does like his proportions look odd here? I don't know. He just there's something about this that strikes me as odd, and maybe I'm the only one. It does look kind of like a little samurai Daredevil suit with the shoulder stuff and everything, but something about this looks off to me. It does sound messed up. Yeah, nah. The Rhino variant, lame. That's just 40 for a custom hard pass. Yeah, never liked the suit. I don't know. The whole thing just looks off to me. But this is a 1 in 25 going for 30 to 60. So basically between ratio and double, with a few sales slightly over double. This is a book that is going to end up under ratio. It is absolutely a trap. That's just the way these 1 in 25s that are going for this. Like, the vast majority of 1 in 25s that are going in this range end up under ratio and end up being traps. Maybe this is an exception. Unless it jumps more next week, I would be very much surprised. Next, another 1 in 25. We got another David Nakayama 1 in 25. Harley Quinn Black, White, and Redder #5. This one's going for basically 50 to 90, so double to triple plus ratio. I have a weird love-hate relationship with Nakayama. Like, some of his stuff I really love. I don't particularly like this one. It's not going to affect my judgment here, but like, I don't know. Sometimes they just they just don't look right to me. I don't know what it is. I don't know. There's something about it that's just off-putting occasionally on some of these Nakayamas. Now this is a miss by M. Kind of missed a D. Kind of a miss. So I'm not the only one that thinks it on this one. Drop. Hey, Gore, what is going on, my friend? The Swifties, yeah. My Harley Quinn out. I'm Harley Quinn out. Too much. She's on every game. She's on a lot. She's definitely on a lot. But this one's going 50 to 90. This one I think has a better chance of holding somewhere. I think if you're in the 50 side of this in 6 months now, you're going to be about where this is going to be. I think this ends up settling around double ratio, 40 to 60 kind of range. I think the 90 is way too much. The sales in the 70s, 80s, 90s are, I think, way too high. I'm putting this as an I'll be back because it's going to kind of still be within the range I would expect. But it used to be, if it was getting consistently to triple ratio, that was a book that would tend to hold. Anymore, that's still an I'll be back. That's a book that's still going to slip back. I think that's the case here. I don't think this is one of his better efforts, other than it's Harley in a cowgirl outfit, I guess. But yeah, that's basically where it's going. Like I said, it's 50 to 90. That's pretty much where the median price is on this one. So my guess is that price ends up being about 50 in 6 months. At least that would be my expectation. It's not going to come all the way down, but you're still going to have to pay a pretty penny for it, but just not quite where it's at now. Next, we have X-Force #3. The first appearance of Lady Anime. So this is a character Liefeld created in 2004 when this book came out. She only ever appeared here. He brought her back for a recent story in like an anthology Deadpool book or something. And he's talking about bringing her back again for some other stuff. So people have gotten some interest. There's been a bunch of sales of these, but they're only going for $4. And like, in addition to like, it doesn't matter who this person is, but at $4, whatever. Okay, if you want to throw $4 at Lady Anime, I guess there's worse things you could do with $4, like light it on fire. But yeah, it's a Liefeld character. Do we really need more Liefeld characters? Oh yeah, like she turns them into cartoon, like animated something in the book. It's yeah. X death dumpster fire. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's Liefeld. What do you expect? You can't expect much. Next, we're gonna keep moving. We got Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. So we got rumors about casting. We got rumors about that this is going to be the basis for the Supergirl movie in the new James Gunn DC universe. All of this has got this book back up to a $25 book. I think the more important thing is here, and I will admit I have not got around to reading it yet. I haven't been able to find the trade. Everybody says this is just a great read. So if you're buying this for that, I think you're doing great. But generally, storylines don't necessarily hold up very well in value once the show comes out. Plus, given all the delays, my guess is we are years from this actually paying off in anything. So I would put this as solidly in an I'll be back, and not a reason to chase this right now while other people are chasing it. Let's see. Feel my wrath. Turn you into a dragon once. Yeah, there you go. That's gonna be worth it. Exactly. Probably worth the read. Not probably worth trying to spec on. Paul Girango saying it's amazing. She could be one of character in a movie. Yeah. Gore liked it. There you go. Gore liked something from the main two, like a superhero book. He does like them, but usually he likes more off the wall stuff. So there you go. No, nothing's happened yet. Yeah. Awesome art, very wordy. Well, that's the Tom King thing. All right, next. A little Gotham City Sirens. This is pure spec. People being hopeful. I know a lot of people would really hope that we would, instead of that Birds of Prey thing, that we were going to get this with Margot Robbie, that we get an Ivy, Catwoman, Harley movie. That's what people are specking on again here. This book's going $30 raw. 9.8s are back or around 100. This is still actually down from where this book like used to set, just in general. I think the $30 raw, like this is typically $20 to $30 raw book anyway. The 9.8 for 100 is actually pretty low on this. I'm going to suggest this is probably a worth it at these prices. If you want to say it's more of an I'll be back than a worth it, I'd have a hard time arguing with you. But like, I've had a copy of this book for a long time. I've kind of followed the value here. This is just kind of about where it sits. Like, it's been higher on several occasions, but it kind of falls back to here. It's really never went lower than what this is by very much. I'm going to say this is probably just worth it, but even if we never get this movie, but that's just me. So we got them Sirens. There you go. Solid cover, but no, I'm down with this cover. Nah. It is what Birds of Prey should have been. Yeah, it should have been. Hey, Kenneth, what is going on? All right, with that, we're moving out of DC stuff. We're into the Sony Spider stuff. 2 books that basically carried over from last week. CBSI put them on the list again because they continue to climb a little bit. We got Secret Wars 7, first Julia Carpenter. This is still obviously from the Madam Web trailer. Last week, 20 to 25. Now it's 30 plus for a raw copy, for high grade raw copy. 9.8, basically the same in that 225, 250 range as it was last week. So it hasn't really climbed much, a little bit on the raw side. Basically, still just a lot of sales following that trailer. This is a book I recently got rid of my copy on. At some point, I'll get it back, but not right now. This is typically long-term sat as a $20 book. 9.8s have sat 150-ish to 200. My expectation is this book is going to go back to that, or actually maybe even crash below that when the movie is a dud, because it's Sony making a Spiderverse movie that's not animated. So they're usually like actually hurt the value more than they help. Or historically they have. So I'm putting it solidly as an I'll be back. You can almost argue a trap, because I have a feeling it's going to crash pretty hard after that movie crashes and burns. That's just my expectation. I would not be buying this book right now. It's one I want to get back because I kind of want all the Spider female first kind of stuff, but yeah, to see the census to know better. We were this, yeah. Well, this isn't even Marvel spec. This is the Sony Madam Web movie is what's going on here. Now, 2 years at your local shop, no matter the government. There you go. Next, we got the actual first Madam Web, 210. This book is climbing back. Raw copies are still kind of in the same range they were last week. 75, 150. 9.8 up to 1,000. Last week it was 900. This is still way down from the original spec on this book. And this is another one I expect to crash and burn. I put it as an I'll be back, but I kind of think it's probably both of these. I think you could argue trap pretty easily, because I expect them to crash and burn after the movie is a dud. I would buy this book between 3 and 6 months after the movie. That's when I would try to buy this book. That's just me. Because I have the feeling that you'll be able to get a steal at that point. Yeah. Pull it. No takers. Bag and box. So they've hired Dane. They could have. They could have. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. The trailer's hot garbage. A great deal. Yeah, I'll be interested in mid to late 2025 or 2024. So, well, this time next year we'll talk. Total rip-off. Yeah. All right. Next, we got XMen 155, first appearance of the Brood. This was on Tom's list. Just pure spec of a potential X-villain with the post-credit scene, of course, bringing the X-Men into the MCU or trying to the Marvels, or more hinting at them, I guess. And people think, well, we might get the Brood. So $15, 9.8, 175. Neither of these numbers are high compared to really where this book sets. But I would still be back. We're a long way. This book is going to go back down to where it says. Sorry, man. I mean, you're correct. But this is basically people specking that we're going to get the Brood. But it's at these prices, it's not that much different than what this book just is. I would put it as an I'll be back. Because, yeah, you just look for a good deal. That's all I would say, because I don't think this is happening anytime soon. Yeah, for sure. Even though that's a very different binary than the one we got in the. I was kind of disappointed in the binary reveal. I'll be honest. That's not what I was hoping for. But anyway, more peaceful. Boring. In Disneyland, right? There you go. There you go. That would be fun. That would definitely be fun. All right, next. Where we at? Century. So Robert Kirkman spilled the beans that he probably wasn't supposed to. That Stephen, his friend, has been cast as a Century. I mean, there have been rumors of this for a while. Raw copies of this 100 to 130, 9.8, 3 to 350. Again, not that much higher than where this book actually sets generally. A little bit, not that much. But I would still put this in I'll Be Back. We're a ways from getting the Century. There's going to be lulls here. I would just look for deals. I would look for deals on this. People are just specking on anything. I'm with you, TJ. I doubt we get the Brood. I doubt they're really high on the list of ex-villains they're going to bring into the MCU. Yeah. Dead in the water. It is a very tough 9.8. It is a very tough 9.8, which is why this is actually not that much higher than where the 9.8 just goes, because it is such a tough 9.8. So, yeah, I would just, again, I'll be back. I'd look for deals. Adam Warlock, another character that huge spikes and then it didn't really pay off. Have tendency to think this is going to be the case. Speaking of dumb spec, so we got confirmation we're getting Dogpool in the Deadpool 3. People are now paying, last week this was like a $10 book. People are now paying $40 for this. Are you, what? $40 for Dogpool? I don't even know what to say. That's just, I mean, like, I don't even, like, how's that Cosmo spec going for you from Guardians? How's the Lucky the Pizza Dog spec going for you? Yeah, I did. He did whine, didn't he? I mean, yeah, I think Dumpster Fire is too kind for that. Don't. This is dumb. All right, now we're going to get into all the things that have made every comic fan mad. We had Hercules, Twilight of the God, #1, first appearance of Juno, who becomes, she appears, she's right there on the cover, right there. She first appears here. This is all about the rumors that we're getting a female surfer or a female herald. Juno is actually a female that becomes a herald that looks just like, has the silvery, looks just like the Silver Surfer. That actually happens in the next book we're going to talk about. This is her first appearance. $4 to $30 here. Most of the sales are still under 10 when I looked this up, but it is starting to climb, and some of the sales are as high as $30. If you're paying $30, this is a trap. If you're paying $4, you're fine. But yeah, so this is one of the characters people are thinking. Hercules is cool. Yeah, waiting on Pool. Don't buy it. That's what he would say. The next one is her first appearance where she becomes a herald and she takes on the silvery appearance. This is one people are basically claiming it's the first appearance, even though it's not. It's just her first appearance. This is just where she becomes the herald. This one's going for $40. That's a dumpster fire. It's not even her first appearance. Again, we're ways out from Silver Surfer or from Fantastic Four as a movie. We don't yet know which way they're going to go. I'd be very cautious with anything like this. And I certainly wouldn't be paying $30, $40 for these two books. Because if they go this way, although I hope that this is what they're doing and not gender swapping the main surfer, if they're just going with a slightly different character, because the whole world will lose its freaking collective crap, and I just don't want to have to listen to the people bitch. I'll be honest. Thank you, sir. Invest in crypto, not the currency. Yeah. I think this is probably where this is going. I mean, we'll see what happens, but yeah, as long as they're using this Juno character or they're using our next book Frankie, and maybe because they've already had Novas, maybe they're going to use Frankie and just call her the Surfer because they don't want to use the name Nova because they don't want to confuse people because they've already had the Nova Corps, and they're wanting to probably introduce a Nova. At least Kevin Feige keeps saying that, even though that's a book that's been spec'd on for decades. It hasn't ever come to fruition. This is obviously 244, first appearance of Frankie Ray, who becomes a Herald of Galactus and goes by the name of Nova. People are still specking on this. Raw 40, 9.8, 500, which is way too high for this, but in my opinion. But it's actually down from where it's been at some points. I would still put this overall as an I'll be back to a trap. Yeah, we'll see what happens. None of these books I would spec on too hard related to the side characters on I think it's more likely than Juno, but who knows. Love that burn art. Yeah, it's a classic cover. This is correct. You are correct. This is when she becomes Nova. So silver. I like that. I like that. I like that. And then the last two books are just complete trash books. I don't know why anyone would want them. They should sell me their copies for like $5 if they have them. We had first full Galactus, FF49. This book is way, way down. A 5.0 down to $600 recently, which is down from even like earlier in the year. I feel like these prices were now into the range where this, like normally when the big books hits one of these lists, even then I'm like worth it to I'll be back just because, it's getting some sort of artificial bump ahead of where even the trajectory is that I'd be patient to find a deal. This is a very serious matter. I have seen Marvels. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Is it great? Is it a good, did I have a good time? Yes. So there you go. Judge me how you feel like it. So one of the 2 or 3 expensive books in front. Yeah. But a 5.0 at 500 or at 600, sorry, 5.0 at 600. I feel like this book is down in the range of straight cash. I expect these books to start climbing again and getting back some of the value they've lost post comic boom as they've crashed. As we actually get casting for FF and everything else, I expect this book to climb. Got 48 and 49 in April. Nice. Let's get that moment spec going. There you go. And that goes the same for this. 4.0 at 500. That feels like a pretty good price. I'm not gonna lie. That feels like a pretty good price. Also, ignore Tom's average values of 4K and 7.5K. They mean nothing. When you're going across all grades, an average means absolutely nothing. That's a pointless way to come up with averages. So yeah, especially with Secret Wars, I think these books right now have dropped back enough post the boom that we're kind of near the floor. They're starting to move. They could move very quickly back toward the values they used to be at. So yeah, if you can find a deal right now, I wouldn't be afraid to pull the trigger on these. Gabriel the Airwalk. Is that even an important enough character to worry about? But all right, so that's it. Those are the books. My dog is like about to go nuts again, I think. I know, buddy. You're just ready for bed. I know. You're a good boy. You were mostly good. I've been kind of whiny. But that's it. Straight cash on these last 2 books, I think. These are obviously worth it no matter what, but I think you're looking at the current prices. I think you're looking at straight cash. I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Didn't know I was going to get to do this tonight because my internet was out for a long time today, but got it back just in time to get this done. So I'm glad you guys hung out with me, and we will catch you next time. Later, everybody. Bye.